tonight. But I just want to say thank you so much to these three ladies for giving us some of their time and sharing their expertise and the success that they've experienced with their business using virtual parties. So thank you. I want to introduce Sharon. Sharon is in Maine. And Sharon, how long have you been a consultant?
Since March of 2017.
Okay, I was going to say about a year.
Yeah,
So actually about a year and a half.
About a year and a half, yeah. But it's been a rough year and a half. But
Right.
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, we're glad you are.
Thanks.
Bianca, where do you live?
Currently, I'm in Florida.
Okay. All right, good. So Bianca is part of the Coleman team. She's in Florida and just a few months, right, Bianca?
Yes, ma'am. September when it was $29.
Oh, good.
Years when I joined.
$29 kit. And look at what you've done with that.
Can't go wrong.
Nice return on your investment.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And Jenna is here in North Carolina. And Jenna, did you join in September?
$29.
$29 kit. All right. Perfect. Great. And Jenna is part of the Owens team. So I just want to say again, thank y'all so much. We are so excited to learn from you tonight. And congratulations to those of you that took time to be on here tonight and learn. So I do have a list of questions and I'm just going to kind of ask and get each of these ladies to share some things that they have found to help them be successful in a virtual party. So let's start by just having all of you answer, what style virtual party do you do? Do you do a 1 day, a 5 day, a 7 day? What is your style of party? Sharon, how about you?
I like to do 5 days. I do 1 day of pre-posting, like a roll call. I'll tell them a little bit about myself, thank the hostess for having a party with me. And then I do a game, I post a game, and then I just let them know the party will start the next day. And then I post like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll do postings probably 4 times a day.
Okay.
I usually do a theme, or I try to stick to a theme. I might jump around a little bit, but they're getting used to me doing that. And on Friday is our final day. On Thursday, I start pushing for bookings. I'm usually pretty lucky to get 2 bookings out of every party.
Okay.
Sometimes I get 3, but I give the hostess a gift if I can get the 3 bookings. So I start pushing for bookings like around Thursday, and then Friday we close it out.
So they're always Monday through Friday.
Well, I was going to say, or I'll start like Wednesday. If they want it to run over the weekend, then I'll tell them, okay, then we'll start at Wednesday because I'm not running a party for 7 days. You lose a lot of interest in the people and they get bored.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do 2-week parties, and a 3-day party is 3 times as more profitable, I think, personally.
Perfect. I like that. And I like that you start them on the same day. That keeps it easy.
Yeah, well, if I have like 4 parties going and they're all over the place and I've been fortunate that they haven't had like duplicate people in each one, that's real easy. I can just
run them side by side.
Right. I got them all open and I just post in all of them and then I'm gone for the day.
Mm-hmm. Good. Perfect. Okay, good. Thank you.
I did a mega party. I did my own mega party 2 weeks ago.
And had several hosts.
You got to do it. You got to try it. I had 7 hostesses, and 5 of them qualified for a party. So I thought that was pretty good all by myself. I was nervous, but I got through it.
There you go. You live and learn. And you know what I always say? We're not brain surgeons. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
It is not life or death. So you just go right ahead and have a good time with it.
They thought I knew what I was doing. That's all.
Fake it till you make it.
Bianca's close to that, Dawn.
Huh?
Bianca's close to a brain surgeon.
She.
Oh.
All right. All right. Let's go on to you, Bianca. Tell us a little bit about your style.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, I am relatively new to this. I've been in direct sales, so having virtual parties compared to in-house parties was a huge shift for me. So I was lucky to have Lori as my director, and she initially did my launch party, my debut, and then I kind of followed her technique, which was a nice posting, and then took a little bit of hers and made mine into a 7-day party. From that, I got a booking and then a booking and a booking.
Mm-hmm.
But next, I'm going to try a 5-day party. So I want to try a little bit of each. So my next, I have 2 parties booked for January, and I'm going to try it as a 5-day party.
Okay.
But similar to Sharon, I have that same structure. And I think that's what's important about virtual parties is having a structure, having your hostess and your guests know what to expect. So I think that's the biggest tip that I have.
Good. Oh, I like that. I like that structure so they know what to expect. That's perfect. And I like that you say you're willing to kind of change things up, try new things until you find what works best for you.
Absolutely. For example, one party, my first party I did was using Facebook groups, which you could easily schedule posts. The last 2 parties I did, they turned out to be on the same day, so I had to make sure I got the names correct. But I used it as an event, which was a lot more difficult, I found. So I think I'm going to stick with Facebook groups for my parties.
Good. Perfect. That's good information because but people use both of those. Sharon, do you use events or groups?
I use events because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a story, a short one. I had a hostess that had a really bad habit of whenever she had a party, she invited her whole Facebook people in. So you'd end up with 419 people in there, and she would get 3 orders. And then I had to delete all them people to get rid of the group. You have to delete them all individually and then delete the group. But if you do an event, when it's all done, I let them know when I find out the order shipped, I go in and say, yay, your order shipped, and be stock in your mailbox, whatever. And then I can completely delete the event, so it's all gone, unless I want to hang on to it for reference. But if you do a group, you have to delete them people one at a time.
Somebody was asking that question the other day, and I just don't delete it. I just leave it there.
Yeah, you can archive it and go back and reference it, but I don't need 20 parties. I'm all virtual, so I can have 12 parties in a month. I don't need all them parties. I'll be all confused.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, good.
Karen, I want to kind of piggyback on that. When I do my host coaching, I send them a little directions on how to invite. And the last blurb on that is, please do not mass invite.
Oh, I do that all the time. But this one woman,
and if they do,
she'll invite 700 people. And it's like, oh my goodness, why do you do that to me?
Yeah, it's hard. It's
You're
hard
gonna
when
get
they
4
mass
people
invite.
that are going to pay attention.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I learned. I like the event so myself.
Okay, so that you're seeing a lot of difference in the 2 already. So now, Jenna, tell us about you. What's your style?
I've only done the 7-day as well. I'm curious to see if a 5-day would work for me, but to be honest, at the end of the 7 days, I actually have my host asking to extend.
Wow.
So, and then that's when I usually get the most of my orders is after the 7th day. I guess from what I've been told, they're waiting to see what else I'm going to post until they decide what they're going to order.
Huh. Interesting.
But I do groups as well, and I keep them there so that I can go back and look, or if I need to use a post that I've used before, I do that. and I'll be honest, I tell my host to mass invite because I don't want to lose out on the opportunity because of someone that, even the way I explain it to them, even if you don't talk to this person on a day-to-day basis, they still eat.
Right.
And they still, could want to participate. And I just have the host send out a message to everyone that she invites and says, if you do not want to participate or you're not interested in this party, please decline the invite. And then they're not invited again.
Okay. Interesting. So we've got 2 7-dayers, a 5-dayer. We've got 2 that do groups, 1 that does events. That is very helpful. So let me ask you this, as far as your invites, Sharon, I know you said you don't like for them to mass invite. You like for them to be a little choosier on who they invite. Jenna says, yep, mass invite them all. So when you, and Bianca, how about you? What's your feeling on
I like to be selective rather than mass invites,
okay.
And prepping the hostess ahead of time. And what I found is when you have that maybe 1 or 2 key guests that they invite, those guests who really want to help their hostess out or their friend will actually be inviting from their own group. And even if they weren't invited from the hostess. And those are the ones that really do help boost up sales, which is why I'm interested in going to the 5-day, because you're developing that sense of urgency, and that's what helps drive sales. And if they want to extend, you still have that buffer for a 7-day. So you're not exhausting a lot of your resources and a lot of your prizes or raffles, but you're developing that urgency and that need and that want and drive. Because it's about why are we selling it, and what do we have to offer as Pampered Chef that they need from us, and how can we sustain that need.
Perfect. So do you ask your host to personally invite before they add them to the group?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
do.
Yes.
I do too. I start 3 days prior to the start of the party, and each day I message the host or call the host, and I kind of tell them, okay, today this is what I want you to do. Today this is what I want you to do. And one day they will message people, and then I tell them, because like I said, I do tell them to not really mass invite, but invite everybody that you think would want to participate. But I only tell them to do about 20 a day at the max. So what they're doing is they're starting 3 or 4 days ahead of time before their party, and they're only adding 20 a day. So Facebook doesn't kind of mark them as a spammer, I guess, if they do it that way instead of doing it all at one time.
Okay. Good. Sharon, how about you? What are you doing? About the same?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I give them a post to put on their Facebook wall.
Okay.
And, announce that they're having a Pampered Chef party, and comment below, add me if you'd like to be added. And I find that they're more in anticipation, seeing that they're having one, and then saying add me, and then waiting to be added. A lot of my people do ask for extensions, and I'll tell them, you can hold your party open for 2 more days, but I'm not posting anymore.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how everybody's got kind of their own little system.
I tell them, sure, you can hold your party open, but I'm all done posting. I'm doing
Well, yeah, I don't post past 7 days either, unless it's like the tracker. Like, I try to make sure every time the host gets another order, I'm saying, hey guys, she is only $37 away from her next level of benefits. Who wants to help her get to the next level? That's the only thing I post past the extension.
Good.
Same here.
And I will go in there and post when the party is, when it's shipped. I'll go in and let them know your order is shipped, and you should be getting an email letting you know. And I know they've already gotten it, but they don't know I know. So, I just want to keep in contact with them. And do it like that.
So I'm hearing from all of you, it sounds like you do a really good job connecting with people in your party. So why don't we all share? Jenna, what is one tip that you have that helps you connect with the people in the party?
Well, I try to comment on every comment that a guest places on there. And for example, so the last party I had was tell me what you would bring to your Christmas dinner. And each comment got 5 brownie points. So everybody was commenting. I think I had 120 comments on that one post. And each comment I went through and I said, okay, well, with that, you can use this product to make that pecan pie, or you can use the manual food processor to chop the pecans for the pecan pie. And I kind of just went through and did it that way. And people were excited about, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that for using that. And I try to do that. I also try to go live at least 2 or 3 times. And as people come on, I greet them and I kind of prep the host before to make sure each person that comes on, she does that as well. Because I tell her that's like somebody walking into her house to join the party. And,
I like that.
Yeah, and I just make sure that that she greets or he greets the guest, and I do as well. And I always make sure to ask before I end it, is there any product that anybody wants to see that they're on the fence about? And if I have it, I'll show it.
Great.
And I also include my family in it. So like my son, he is in there with me doing whatever. If he drops something, everybody sees it. And I have found around here, that's what people like. I love watching your son the other night do this and this and this. And
it makes you real. It makes you a real person, That's awesome. Good ideas. Bianca, how about you? What do you do to personally connect?
I would have to say exactly what Jenna said. A lot of connecting, including my daughter. She's the one that would be grabbing the raffle tickets, so they see her acting silly or whatnot. But to connect, first, I always make sure I put the hostess first. So one of my posts in the beginning would be, tell me at least 3 things, and the more you comment, the more raffles get of why you love our hostess. So I, boost her up. But then also at the same time, I'm connecting by, similar to Jenna, if they make a comment, I'll post a product or a recipe. And then I also would private message each customer or each guest. So I've made that connection on a personal level. Correct. And that's what helps generate leads and generates a personal touch, but I think a contact for future reference. So contacting them and getting that personal level by private messaging them.
And do you find that's easy, Bianca, even if they're not your Facebook friend? Are they responding to those private messages?
Oh, absolutely. The one easy way is if they want a ticket or a prize, for example, is, hey, I'm going to need your address. And of course they want that prize, so they're going to go ahead and give me that address, and we've made that connection.
Good.
Or, hey, why don't always end with a question, an open-ended question, and that generates more conversation. So I think that's a good way to get rapport, trust, but also generate leads.
I like that. And I agree with you on that. That personal touch is so important, and it really does make a difference. Good job. Thank you. Sharon, how about you?
Right about the questions too. That was actually wrote down on my notes here. If I can ask a question to a guest, I'm gonna comment a question before I comment a statement, because it makes them have to, they feel obligated to at least answer you. So, out of respect, and that starts a conversation. So I try to ask as many questions as I can, but not be too pushy, I guess you can say.
And y'all are right, the open-ended questions, because that keeps that conversation going. When you ask a yes/no question, then it's a stop sign. You know, once they say yes or no, that it stops the conversation, and then you got to open the door again. But as long as you ask open-ended, it keeps that door open. Good. Sharon, now how about you? How do you personally connect?
I don't do a whole lot different than they do. I think the interaction, doing a live video, introducing yourself, letting the people know that you're a real person too. You're not a movie star. You're somebody trying to make a living, and you know, and you have something that that they need. And a lot of people, well, I can get that at Walmart. Well, no, you can't get this at Walmart. You might be able to get something that you think is like this, but I can tell you that, you know, and I've done live videos, like I did the 30-minute chicken thing. I've sold 4 deep baker things because I told them that that's what they had to have to cook the chicken in. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just mind over matter. You know, you almost have to tell people what they need to buy. You really do. You almost have to show them that they need it. They'll look at it and think that they don't need it, but you have to show them that they do.
So it sounds
really
to me
good.
like all 3 of you are doing a lot of listening. You're listening to the needs of the guest in your party, and you're responding to those needs with a solution. And that is that personal connection. And that's what's making you so successful. And all 3 of you are awesome at that. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about this, because it sounds like all of you have pretty good participation in your parties. And that's important because you can only do with what you have. So if you don't have guests out there that are participating and answering and asking questions, then it's hard for you to make that personal connection, because it's not like you're in the room with them. Right. So tell me one tip that you would recommend to help get more participation from your guests on your show.
Host coaching.
Host coaching. Okay, good.
And I'm not even, I think Miss Karen shared him on her page at one time, but Stephen Joseph, he's on the virtual party group. He had about an hour-long video about host coaching on that group, and I listened to it, and he gives a lot of good advice.
Yes,
and a lot of good insights. And he's got a document saved to the files on that group that kind of shows what he does for all of his 7-day virtual parties, what he says to the guest, what he says to the host. And I kind of took that and made it my own and changed it up and did things to change it. But that's kind of the structure that I started with that's working. So I would definitely recommend anyone to go and listen to his video, because it puts things in different perspective.
Okay.
Than what you think. So
yeah, that is a good video. I watched it too, and I did get a lot of useful tips.
So can you tell me that video again?
It's called Host Coaching, I think 101, and it's on the Pampered Chef virtual party group.
Oh.
And it's on if you go to files, his template is there, but he also, I think it was about 2 months ago, posted the video. Yeah. It was about an hour video.
I tell you what, guys, I will grab that and put it in our organization.
That would be
so it'll be there. How about that? I should be able to do that, shouldn't I?
That's good.
That helped me a lot being a new consultant, because I have never been in direct sales. This is my first. I work at a doctor's office, so this is my first time in direct sales, and that helped me a lot learn about how important the host is to the party. Because I'll be honest, I've had a party that tanked, and the host was not excited. She was not engaging. She did not comment. She did not. I would send her the post to the daily host post that I send, and she wouldn't post it. And it tanked, and it showed me right then and there that they are what brings in your customers. And if you can get them excited about the products and showing them different things and get them excited, they get their guests excited.
And they are the connection to your guest.
Mm-hmm.
So that you have got to get them on board.
They're the link between you and the party, actually.
They're, good. Perfect. Anybody else? Anything else you wanted to share on that? What would you say your best tip is on increasing attendance and participation in your parties?
Just get that hostess involved. It is really the top.
That's it.
You know, you have to be active too, but having your hostess backing you up. I had one that, like Jenna said, I had one that it was bad. I mean, I wanted to cry. I posted, I did videos, I gave prizes, and she had like $39 in sales. It was terrible. But, you know, I mean, you're going to get those. You really are, no matter how hard you try. Mm-hmm. But if your host is in there and talking to like tagging her friends, if you put a post on there, and I tell her, if I post something that you think Mary will like, tag her so she sees it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let her know, oh, this is what you were looking for, Mary. Look, she just posted it, or something like that. You. It's like I said, that's the link between you and the party is your hostess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I think also one other. I think also another important piece is having an in between the party, like briefing or debriefing, and saying with the hostess, how do you think things are going? How can I change it up for you? Or should we keep it as is? Sometimes it's the time zone difference that is a factor. So maybe we'll push the party up an hour or back an hour. So it's just regrouping with the hostess to get the most engagement.
Bianca, that is genius. I love that.
It is, yes.
That
People get on Facebook at different times, and most of the time, like, I get on Facebook every night around the same time. So if you can kind of see what time your party gets the most engagement, make a point to be on during then to quickly answer, because I had the one that I had, I was obviously not on the same time that they were, but her party qualified, but only because I called her and I said, look, if you do not engage, your guests are not going to engage. Can you at least agree to post 2 posts for me and comment and tag 3 people for me? And her party got it. I mean, it qualified, but only because of that, I feel.
Another point too is we've already established that hostess connection, but if she's just towards the whole party and not really engaged, we've also engaged with her guests at a personal level. And one party I actually interacted with the guest to have her, and she did this on her own volition, to get her own private friends to join her friend's party and boost sales. So even interacting with the guests who ended up being future hostesses helps out too. Having another backup plan if you need to. I have my own friends that I can add to the party if needed.
That's smart. I like that. You ladies are so smart. You have really gotten yourself trained. And I have not allowed time for questions at the end. We are down to 3 minutes. And I think we could probably stay on here another hour and listen to all of you. But we promised a 40-minute call. So what I want to do to end up tonight is have each of you share. You've got about 40 seconds to share your best tip. One tip that you feel like will truly change people's virtual parties. Anybody ready for that?
Just,
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Listen to your director. And thank you to Lori. Lori, if she's on or if not in the replay, I won this book. It's called Facebook Party Secrets of a $1 Million Party Girl. Highly recommend.
Cool. Okay, everybody see that? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good
all of
tip.
my consultants get it when they hit their 1250.
Thank you.
I didn't know that, Lori. You didn't just share that information with your director.
I did share that with you, Don Ferreira.
You did not.
I did so. But anyway,
One of
I
those.
love you, Bianca. You are awesome. So, yay.
Thank you.
That
Go
is
ahead,
great.
sorry.
Awesome. Thank you. And yes, listen to your director. Listen to people that have experienced and you can learn from. Not only from reading, but from listening to videos and trainings that other people are doing. All right, Sharon, go ahead.
I don't have anything to add. If Jenna does, she can.
Okay.
I was just going to acknowledge Bianca's comment about adding her friend. I have one friend that I add to every group. She is the first person that I add to every group that I have, and she is my hype man. That's what I call her, because she gets the party going. She starts the comments, and people don't even know who she is, but they're going to start commenting because somebody else is commenting.
Somebody else. That's genius.
That is smart, guys. I love that.
I do have one little hint. A lot of times you hear of people going into Facebook jail. I have a grandmother account for my granddaughter, and I always add that grandmother to all of my parties in case I get booted. She can pick up and keep posting. Because if you go to Facebook jail, you're not going to be able to get into your party and post.
Right.
So I put my grandmother account in there, and it's never happened to me, thankfully, but she's in there if I need her.
So you got a backup plan.
You might need one. You never know when you're going to go to Facebook jail.
That's right.
So I've got a backup.